Purdue Extension in Dearborn County. I'm so excited to share with you the importance of maintaining your aeroponic garden. So I'm going to go through a little checklist on things that you'll want to check every week when you have your system up and running. These weekly checks can be really simple and they'll feel like, do I really need to do this? I can skip a week. But I'm telling you, if you stick to it and do this every week, your garden will run smoothly and it will look beautiful and everybody's going to want to be a part of it. Okay, so let's start first with wiping down the outside of your indoor garden. This is really helpful because, as silly as it seems, there's going to be some dust that collects on your aeroponic system. And so if you just take a wet sponge or wet washcloth just with regular water on it, you can wipe down the outside here all the way around and just take it in one nice wipe over. This is also really helpful because sometimes the seams between the sections of your garden system will get some mineral buildup. So there'll be this buildup that just kind of builds up on the outside. And if you don't wipe your system down once a week and make that part of your regular routine, that buildup will accumulate and it will solidify and it'll be much harder to get off. And it really is an eyesore, even though it does not hurt the plants. It is an eyesore. And so we want your system to look nice all the time. So again, step one, you're going to wipe down the outside of your garden system all around all the plants and just give it a nice wipe down. Run your fingernail through, or something like you could use a metal nail file with the washcloth to run through the seams of between the sections on your garden system. That will do wonders. Also, while you're doing that, you can look at the plants and take some time to cut off or remove any leaves that are dead or dried or just maybe have a little spotty, or they just don't look like healthy leaves on your plants. Go ahead and remove those so that they don't look like an eyesore, and it just helps to keep your garden looking nice and fresh. Next step is to check the water level. This is so important. It is the most important thing that you do for the survival of your plants. So the water basin at the bottom of your system holds all the water that is needed for the plants. And so what you need to make sure you do is that you have at least half full, I like to say 3/4 full basin of water. Okay, so keeping it anywhere from a half full to 3/4 full is a great plan for you to do. And all you need to do, or all you need to teach your students, for example, to do, will be to open up the little window, check at the water level, double check that you have adequate amount of water in there. If it's getting at half or below half, then water needs to be added, okay? And every time you add water to your garden system, you need to add the nutrient solutions. There are 2 really important solutions that come with your system, and they need to be added to your indoor garden system anytime you add water. So for example, in the system that I use, my system holds 20 gallons of water at the bottom. And so I know that when there's 20 gallons of water, there needs to be 200 milliliters of one of the nutrient solutions in that 20 gallons of water and 200 milliliters of the other nutrient solution added to that 20 gallons of water. Therefore, every time that I add 5 gallons of water, I'm going to add 50 milliliters of one nutrient solution and 50 milliliters of the other nutrient solution. That keeps the same concentration at all times, and that is so important. Okay, so to review that step 2 with checking the water level, if the water level is already at an adequate level, leave it be. Don't do anything to it. If the water level is getting below 3/4 of a basin or 3/4 of the tank or half of the tank or basin, then go ahead and add 5 gallons of water and add 50 milliliters of each of your solutions if you're using a system like the one I described. Okay, good. Step 3 is to check the pH of the water. This is so important that you check the pH and you do it once every week, okay? I really am exaggerating the once part because what you don't want to run into is you do not want to check the pH, check it again 10 minutes later, check it again 20 minutes later, or check it again the next day and overcorrect or undercorrect or, add too much of the pH adjusters. So please, please trust me when I say check your pH once a week. If the pH is within range that's recommended with your garden system, leave it be. Do not do it again. Do not do anything. Do not check it again until the next week. If the pH is out of range, adjust it and then leave it be until the next week, okay? This is so, so helpful. And I will give you recommendations on what that looks like in my garden system so you can see that at the end of this video. Okay, some other things that I would have you check is just take a good look around, make sure there's no leaks. There ought to never be any leaks, but hey, you never know. You'd rather catch it before it gets to your floor, your carpet saturated or something like that. Again, that is highly unlikely, but it is worth a good look around. So check around where your pump cord comes out of your system. Make sure there's not any water leaking. Make sure there's no leaks between the seams of your garden system. And the last thing I would end with is check to be sure that your pump looks nice and healthy. So take a look at the pump in the water and go ahead and trim any roots that are dangling down. Now this won't happen until you have really nice big plants on your garden, and you may choose to only grow small plants, so you may never see this problem indoors. But if you ever see roots extending down and wrapping around your pump in the water, make sure you trim those roots. And you'll just want to take some scissors and cut the roots just above your pump to give your pump some more breathing room. If your pump includes a sponge, you'll want to remove the sponge and rinse it. However, most of the systems that I've seen in the last few years have done away with the pumps that have the sponges, and instead they have a different system that does not require a sponge. Those are some things to think about. Maintenance, maintenance, maintenance. Maintaining your garden system is going to go such a long way, and it often does not take any more than 5 to 10 minutes a week. But it really matters. So having a way to keep track of that is another really great thing to keep in mind, and I'm going to create another video just about that. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.